February cold weather. This is a cold weather month, and we had a good December and January because February is not cutting us no slack. Seems like, especially on that Wednesday event. Like the Wednesday event, I can't get there because of the cold weather and the high winds. And when the winter time, when you're riding an electric bike, the cold weather works against you, not for you. And the wind definitely works against you, not for you. So anyway, I had to check out that Tuesday event. And I was going to check out the extra event that popped up on Tuesday. It's an indoor event. They're getting their food from Gleaners, not Forgotten Harvest. So far so good with them. I'm glad to add them on. Other than that, everything went real slow for me. But I had enough left over, so I did the Thursday event. It was a nice weather day on Thursday. So I did my 1 month Thursday event, and that's what's carrying me over. So far so good on that. But I really don't have a whole lot to report about with the food banks because I ain't really been going to them. I went to that Thursday food bank, and they didn't have that much this Thursday. I had left early before because I had something to do with some previous home repair work I was doing for a neighbor. She wanted me to wrap it up so she could see the finish line. She couldn't see the finish line. So I had a lot of my working material was in there. So I had to wrap that up for her so she could be halfway satisfied. Sometimes people have to see that you're close to the finish line before they can be satisfied with what you're doing. I had all winter to do it, but she had came back early for some death in the family. So that was unexpected in January. So we roll over to February, and like I said, I'm going to these food banks in February, and it's a bad weather month. When you got bad weather month, ain't much you can do. I ain't been to the Tuesday morning food bank in a long time. So now I got Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, and I don't have to go out to that one on 6 Mile, Gratiot, the long distance one. That's cut people off at 10:30. You got to be out there about 10:30 signed in or to get served. So now I got better options with a lot less traveling distance. And between them two, I put them two together, it'd be about the same amount as the other one. Only both of them get theirs from Forgotten Harvest. They get theirs from Gleaners versus Forgotten Harvest with the one on 6 Mile in Gratiot area, the one that's farther out that church. So this one right here, I'm going to check them out. Next time I go there, I'm going to ask them what organization they're with. Most times you figure out what organization they're with. Excuse me, it could be with Samaritan. I'm not sure, but they could be leasing a space up in Samaritan Center. So I'm not sure. When I just go on the Riverines over there, I just go to them on Mondays, but I stopped going to them because they got to be a long two-part event, and they got a late start with the second part. The early part was to sign up early before 12 and then come back around 6 o'clock. That just ain't my thing. Coming back at 6 o'clock. But at least they had it hooked up that if you came back at 6 o'clock and signed in early, that you guarantee the box. So things change. So I know on the Wednesday event that you only get about 30 people. One of the ladies that volunteered there, so they went down to 12 people. Signed in just 12 people. And they only do it once a month per person. They do it 4 times a month or 5 times a month. It depends how many Wednesdays they are. But I heard they were just signing up 12 people. I know a lot of people came there was disappointed. But they might have took less on the truck. That's what happened last Thursday with this truck. It looked like they had been getting the full load, the front part of the load, and the back part of the load. A lot of times the truck driver would come and he'll give us the front part of the load, which is all the stuff from the tailgate to the where the cab is at. That's really the rear of the truck, but I call it the front of the truck because they offload it from the tailgate all the way to the back where the cab is at for the truck. It's a box truck. It's a CDL B box truck. You got to have CDL B license or A license to drive this truck. It's long enough that you would have to have them license. So anyway, not like this time, and the way they described it last time, I seen it was just 3 pallets on there. A lot of times they'd be pulled all the way up to the tailgate, from the cab to the tailgate, which is the full length of the box of the truck. And only we get the front half of the truck. We get the front half of the load, which is from the tailgate to the cab. And there might be 2 or 3 pallets that don't get offloaded, they go somewhere else. But it seems like things have reversed itself when they come in with the second part of the load. Because I know they didn't leave out there with just 3 pallets. They come all the way from where they at out in Southfield to east side Detroit with just 3 pallets. And they ran a little late. So we was the second stop for that truck. Not only we had been the first stop, then they have 2 or 3 pallets left on there to take it to a second stop. So it seems like that has reversed itself. And they know that with them having 2 homeless houses, they have to have more than just 3 pallets. So I didn't even stay for the Thursday load. I think it was just 3 pallets. I know that wasn't going to be enough to go around. But the community, likewise the house. The house is probably going to get most of it. The community wasn't going to get that much. That would happen last week. So we'll see what happened this week, Thursday. But I see it's a short load. Well, if they don't get there by 2:30, I got to leave anyway for a doctor's appointment. So I'll see what happens with that. But it seems like the load has reversed itself. And they're giving them the short end of the truck, which is the 3 or 4 pallets that be left, 2 or 3 pallets, versus 6 or 7 pallets. So we'll see what happens. If it runs over with that, we had a good run on it if it's over. Hopefully it's not over. They'll straighten that out. But if they don't, then, that might not be worth going to, because there ain't that much on it. They still got that earlier run at 11 o'clock. Excuse me. Seems like I always get the hiccups or something when I'm talking on the airwaves and talking on the podcast. It seems like I always get hiccups or a dry throat or something. And always seems it happens. But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. So we got the update with the bike. Got everything situated. So I'm hoping to get that one and checking out the one with the chain-driven one. Battery-operated one with the chain-driven versus the one that's run off the axle. So I finally have a second bike up to run with that second battery I bought last year. I said I got bad luck with bikes. Can't get to that second bike with the second battery. So hopefully I have that running this month before my birthday. But I have a chance to test it out this Thursday. So that's what's going to be happening. Because it's about the middle of the month. I know I got to put something on these airwaves before I have to pay my big $4.95 bill for the month. For my 100 minutes, but I'll never use up the 100 minutes. So I only have but a $4.95 plan, because I don't talk that much. But anyway, that's what's happening. I can give you the lowdown on the bike on the next event. We'll see what happens this Friday. Because I know I missed Monday and Tuesday so far. And I might miss Wednesday too, with the weather being cold, like it is. So I'll miss that first Wednesday, 2nd and 4th of the month. I'll miss the second week of the month. But hopefully I can make it up at the end of the month. So that's what's happening with the food banks here. Cold weather got me down with the food banks. I'm not going to drive my vehicle, so the food banks ain't worth that. I got to stick with my motto and make it free all the way around by not having to use my vehicle as transportation. Use my bikes only as transportation. And I get a chance tomorrow, Thursday, to check out the other bike. I hope I finally got it going. So I got a yard. See, man, doing one thing, I'm doing another. Finally got that thing going. So I'm going to see how I got that chain tight on there. So I'm going to see how it works. I know I got to pedal it before I get engage the motor. So I'm going to see how it works. Looking forward to that. The weather going to pick up on Thursday. The high going to be about 40. I got a late afternoon doctor's appointment. So it should work out just fine. I'll have the 411. Hopefully I won't have to walk it back home. But if I do, I just take the chain and lose the brakes off. And I'll still be riding home. And like I said, as long as I don't have no high winds, I'm good. High winds mess you up with the cold weather too. That's a bad combination. And you don't want to get too cold. I already was cold going to the foot doctor earlier this week. I should have drove, but I was determined to ride my bike. That's a little distance to go with the foot doctor. But I made it there and had an hour wait before I could see the doctor, and half an hour before I got the chair. Half an hour when I was in the chair. So it's about an hour and a half with the appointment. But I was able to ride home and make it all the way home on that battery charge, even though I had to go real slow. And the bottom of the battery was drained past the halfway point on the way back, but it got me there. Of course, I had to have my incident around schools. Somewhere around schools, I forgot about how bad you are in your mind at 13, 12, 13, and 14. The middle schools. They see me riding through the bike and they were talking that yang. But give me that bike, old man. You should take that bike from me. He always talk that yang. But I ignore it. I don't feed into it. It happens every year. Just one of them things. And I forget, when you're young, you're dumb, and you're full of cum. And that's for sure. So there's always an incident going to happen with the bikes. I know one thing, the bike lanes was real dirty. When they pushed that snow back, they didn't clean the bike lanes like they said they was going to do. With the snow, not plow, but the snow brushes, they was going to use the bike lane. So I know the bike lanes I used up and down corners was dirty with a lot of debris from the snow plow. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to have to, make a report on that. They had talked about it on nextdoor.com, how they was going to keep it clean. I guess in certain areas they might keep clean. Other areas they don't. I know them scooters, they was parked on the side. And they weren't going to be doing nothing going through them snow and ice. But I seen one person out there with a scooter. They ain't out there like they used to be. The wheel's too small for 3 or 4 inches of snow. And definitely can't do nothing on no ice. My big tires, I rode that on ice, and that's, the little ice, I have to be careful on that. And I got 26-inch tires. So I'm 13 inches up from the axle. These things can't be no more about 3 or 4 inches up from the axle. So they got a little 5 or 6 inch tires from the tires to the rim. They're 5 or 6 inches off with 3 or 4 inches off the ground from the axle. And 5 or 6 altogether with the whole wheel. So they sit low to the ground, that's for sure. So we said it worked out. So far they got grounded for the cold weather. And I figured they couldn't do nothing with the snow. And they still put them out there though. And even though they get buried in the snow, and they still got to be charged up. So they keep that person busy being a juicer. That's what I was going to do. So I'm juice up the batteries. But I won't be bothered with them. Find them and juice them overnight. Then taking them back to a certain location. I ain't want to be bothered with that this year. I might try it next year. Or later on this year when the weather breaks. I might check them out. We'll see. It's some extra income. It's something I might can do. I got a vehicle can do it. Just to charge them up overnight. That would be my main concern. But anyway, got through this, we get through this month. Hopefully things will be better. Coming up in March, April. We still made it. I got enough food, so we ain't been to the grocery store throwing down too much. I have to buy my net bones at the grocery store. But the rest of the food I've been getting from the food bank. And I bought some meat for the breakfast food for the food bank, for the grocery store. But for the most part, I've been getting my food from the food bank, been carrying me on the grocery bills. And that's the whole point of going to the food bank, is to help out on that grocery bill. And free up my money from going to spending at the grocery store. So far, so good, even when we have a slow run on those food banks. So anyway, we're going to put some time on the meter. Hope we use up some of these minutes. And we will holler back at you Friday. Let you know what the 411 with the chain-driven bike And how we did with the food banks on Thursday. I'm going to try one, at least try to get one on Thursday. I know I ain't doing nothing on Wednesday, but I'm going to try to do one on Thursday. But if it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. We'll be all right without it. So adios, amigo, and we'll holler back at you later.